Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. Many people scoff at the idea of having a guru. True to human nature generally, they make a virtue of their scoffing. I am responsible for what I do, they announce. Responsible for my mistakes as well as for my victories. What would I ever learn if I handed over my development to someone else? To depend on another for guidance would be an act of spiritual cowardice. It would be understandable for someone gifted with some trivial ability, for instance, with words, to insist on doing his crossword puzzle himself without letting anyone else help him. But supposing, even in such trivial matters, he had no such gift, what virtue would there be in refusing to learn? For that matter, where would the gift itself come from? That which is a gift is not a native ability. Still, crossword puzzles are hardly an important challenge. What if a person wanted to do something daring, to climb a cliff, for instance, but refused to study the art of mountain climbing? He would climb at the risk of his life. And how much more is risked than physical life in the great adventure of the divine search, where the risk is to salvation itself? Where is the sacrifice in seeking guidance? Even a mountain guide wouldn't presume to do one's climbing for one. His purpose would be only to help the neophyte to climb safely. To have a wise guru is not a sign of weakness, but of plain common sense. All the saints, aware as they are of the hazards of the adventure, agree on the importance of having a guide, a guru. And these are the heroes speaking, not cowards of spiritual weaklings. Jesus emphasized the importance of having a teacher by asking John to baptize him. In the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 3, we read of his coming to John. Thus, Jesus said to John, "It becometh us to fulfill all righteousness." In the Bhagavad Gita, the 4th chapter, Sri Krishna says, "Open thyself to those who have attained wisdom. They will be thy teachers. Ask questions of them, both verbally and mentally. Serve them faithfully and with devotion." How is the devotee to recognize one who has attained wisdom? The Bhagavad Gita gives us the inspiring description of the sage. By this sign is he known, being of equal grace to comrades, friends, chance-comers, strangers, lovers, enemies, aliens, and kinsmen, loving all alike, evil or good. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. It is interesting to talk about this topic. Do you need a guru? In a weekend where we have had a Kriya initiation, because for the people who have been here for this initiation, this question might be a question of the past that we have already answered. But for people, for those who are here and who have not participated in this initiation and maybe have not yet thought about this question, do I need a guru? Do we need a guru? It is true that we should talk on two levels, even though it is really the same level, because wherever we are on our path towards the truth, towards the light, and I cannot imagine that you are here if this isn't a calling from your heart, that you want to have more light, more happiness, more joy in your life. And in whatever point, step we are on this path, the presence, yes or not, of a guru has an effect on us. Those who come here often or who live here know that there is this story about when Swami Yogananda was asked by someone, but truly, do I need a guru? And when Swamiji told this story, we were all a bit shocked by his first words, because he said, a guru? No, you don't need a guru. Who wants to have someone who tells you what you need to do, who controls your life? And so he named all those things that people think a guru might do. And then Swamiji said, but if you think that you want to find God, then yes, you need a guru. And that is the situation of our world. We are not all at the same point on our path, and it is not always clear to what we need a guru for. What does a guru do? There's another story about one of our teachers told, a moment when a disciple of Yogananda in his ashram came to talk to Yogananda about the fact that, oh, you know that there's one of our disciples that says that he cannot follow you anymore because he feels that he needs to express his own free will. And the master, with a little smile, said, but he doesn't really have free will. He is so taken, so influenced by his own mental attitudes, limited attitudes, by his emotions, by his past, all the habits, old habits that he has created. And so Yogananda nominated all those ways in which we limit ourselves. We are limited. We are not yet at the point where we are truly free. So if someone thinks to be free, and this would mean just to do whatever he or she wants to do, yes, that is a kind of freedom, yes. But we need to make decisions and choices in our lives. And yes, we are all free to make our choices, but we can choose to guide a car with a lot of velocity. You want to drive really fast, and then you might have an accident, you might hurt someone. That is a kind of decision that we can take, yes. And we have in our lives so many opportunities to make choices. And we are wise when we arrive to the point where we understand ourselves and we know maybe I don't always make the right choices, and maybe especially where it has to do with my spiritual path, where I have maybe a little experience or maybe no experience, and I know that there are beings that are really free, that have pursued the same path where I am on, and they can help me, not taken away from me the responsibility for my choices, but giving me several opportunities to see how making this choice or that choice I learn the lessons of my life. And the Guru is that being that knows ourselves better than we know ourselves. And he knows what our lessons are in life. And he helps us to face the opportunities to grow in this experience. And he gives us a lot of freedom to make our own choices. And he helps us to understand which are the lessons for us to be learned. I wanted to read 2 poems from Whispers from Eternity from Yogananda, that he said in another poem, he said, Yogananda said that this book, Whispers from Eternity, could be, when he had left his body, could be a guide for those who want to become free. So the poem that I want to read, the first one is Salutation to the Great Preceptors. And this great preceptor is the Satguru. Nowadays there are many gurus. There's the tennis guru, maybe there's the computer guru. There's many gurus, many teachers, people from whom we can learn. As Satguru is the one who is one with the eternal and who knows the truth. And this is what Master Yogananda, a liberated avatar, says about the Guru. Bearing the bliss of Brahma. Bearing the bliss of Brahma, happiness supreme, wearing the image of wisdom, beyond the dispute of inequalities, free as the limitless sky. Imagine these words if you know someone with these qualities. Knower of all there is to be known, thou, perennial, taintless one, witness of all happenings, beyond all conception's boundaries, uncolored by good, bad, and active qualities, my ever-awake preceptor, I bow to thee. When one discovers someone with these qualities, then you know that he will guide you always in the right way for you. A true guru doesn't teach at all in the same way. Also, our Guru Lahiri Mahashaya gave Kriya according to the individual and what this individual needed. And then I wanted to read this other poem, which is what Yogananda wrote to his Guru, and I only read a little bit. And Yogananda called this my Guru. You, light of my life, you came to illuminate the path of my soul. As a child, I have cried for my Divine Mother, and she came to me in the resembling of my Guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar. In that meeting, oh my Guru, a light oh my Guru, a spark flew from thee, and the faggots of my God craving gathered through incarnations, smoldered and blazed into bliss. All my questions have been answered with thy flaming golden touch. Eternal, ever-present satisfaction has come to me through thy glory. My Guru, thou voice of God, I found thee in response to my soul cries. Slumbers of sorrows are gone, and I am awake in bliss. These words tell us what awaits us in our relationship with the Guru. We should not take this for granted, because a lot depends on our path, on what we do. But these are the possibilities. When we have a true Guru, and that we read his teachings, that we listen to, that we feel inside, and we try to do what he teaches. Two of my inspirations for discipleship have always done this in their lives, and I want to talk a little bit about Sister Gyanamata and Swami Kriyananda, because they manifested this in their discipleship life. Also, we or people who have a Guru for a long time already, one can have a Guru, take a discipleship, take Kriya initiation and practice, and then maybe lose a little bit of enthusiasm. Maybe you come to a point where you feel, I always do the same thing, there's nothing new. Without understanding that it is our part that is missing when these times happen. It's not that the Guru is less present. It's not that the Guru is less capable of taking us by hand and taking us towards the light. It is our part. We need to find the inspiration that works for us, and maybe in one moment of our life it means coming to Nanda every month, because at Ananda I find inspiration and then I go home and I can practice better. Or it may be, I have never read this book by Swami Kriyananda, The New Path, for example, that talks a lot about the Master. Maybe there I can find new inspiration for my relationship with Master. There are many ways in which we can and must do our part to have all that the true Guru, like these masters on our altar, can give. These are not the only masters. If you are here because you are searching for your Guru, searching is part of the path towards the light, towards God. And everyone has the right to do this research through readings, through listening, through maybe reading on the internet. There's so much inspiration also on the internet by different gurus. And what we can talk about in our experience is how it is to know Yogananda, and that knowing Yogananda has turned around our lives, and we continuously go towards the light. Maybe it's little steps, sometimes it's jumping towards the light, but with a true guru you can trust. And I wanted to read some things from Gyanamata and then talk about Swami Kriyananda, because Gyanamata is the most advanced woman disciple of the Master. She has known Yogananda, and when she understood who he was, she knew that this was a person who knew God and who could take her to the light. And she wanted that. After that first meeting, she didn't see Yogananda for 5 years. And you might think, oh, what a pity, poor woman. But she continued her relationship with the Master from a distance inside her. And the people who knew her say that also after she went to live in the ashram of the Master from Seattle, but also in that period after she moved to the ashram, Yogananda was very busy. He was often around, and even when he was there in the presence, she was not necessarily in his physical presence, but she attuned herself to his consciousness, to his highest consciousness. And in that attunement, she never felt a physical emptiness. And then when they were together, these were moments, for example, when others in the ashram asked Sister Gyanamata, why don't you talk when the Master is present? We know that you're good friends. And she said, I don't need to talk. There are others who need to talk, who need to ask questions, who need to ask something from him, but I feel him always, and I don't have this need. So for us, who we don't have the opportunity to know the Master in his physical body, maybe in another lifetime, but we need to take courage from this. We need to know that having a Master, a Guru like Yogananda, who is not in his physical body, is not a disadvantage. It is simply something that helps us to understand that it is not his physical form that touches us. It is his consciousness, his heart. And these are the ways how we can attune ourselves more deeply through his books, through his voice, through his cosmic chants. For those of you who were here Friday night for the Guru Kirtan, you can feel the presence of the Master when we are present. And when we are somewhere else with our mind, it's not that we can do much, it's not that the Guru can do much. And I want to read from Gyanamata, because Gyanamata, she was so attuned with the Master, and she was often asked for guidance, and this is the guidance she gave to someone who wanted more help from the Master. And she said, he, the Guru, cannot help you. Even a great Master cannot help you if you don't give your cooperation willingly. If you don't cooperate with him, you cannot sit and wait that the master does everything for you, because the master is not there for that. And that is something else that Gyanamata said. She said, maybe I remember, she said, I did not come for a social relationship. I came to ask you to help me to know God, and then to guide me and help me in the right way for me. And she didn't have, we cannot think that the path towards God with a guru on our side is always smooth, because we have our lessons to learn. And sometimes the guru needs to be severe, needs to discipline us, to help us to learn what we have to learn for our growth. And Gyanamata was very good in this, to help people to open themselves to the guidance of the Guru. And in this world, there are two energy flows. There's the outward flow, flowing outward from God, and it brings us always more out into the world, into creation. And there's another flow, energy flow, that brings us inside and towards God, that helps us to go inside. And we need to do our part to be in this flow, to go close to the Guru and close to God. And Gyanamata and Swami Kriyananda dedicated their lives to enter into this flow, into the flow that brings us ever deeper and ever more perfectly in attunement with the Guru and God. Because Guru, you know that it means the one who takes away darkness, and being in tune with his consciousness helps us to live more in the light, in love, in all these divine qualities that we know. If you have been in the class about meditation, they are part of us, these qualities. We don't need to search for love, for light, for peace, for harmony somewhere else. These are qualities that we have inside of us, like this divine spark that animates every act, everything we do in our life, every lifetime. And our part is not small, the part that we have to do. Someone once said, he was giving a great challenge to the public audience, and he said, don't think that having a guru means that he's all this that we just talked about. The guru's light, his love, he's someone who's wise, he has all these divine qualities, and we are so small. No, we need to understand that we have to become like a guru. I don't want to say, like we often see in the world, gurus from the ego, from saying, I am capable, I can do this, I can heal you, I can do this, I can guide you, I can do everything for you. No, a true guru is someone who can do everything, but who knows that the true gift of the relationship with you is to render yourself capable to have this light, to have this love, to have this joy, to have all these divine qualities that you have inside. He helps you to bring them out. Your own healing on all levels, spiritual, mental, physical, your own capacity to help others, but always knowing that it is the divine that acts through you. And it is the Guru that reminds you of who we are in reality. And sometimes we also have friends who do this, and that's a great help. And I really like the story about the Master. When he was in his body with his disciple at Mount Washington, he sometimes went with them to the cinema to see a film. And he would sit in the back, and that was in those years where you still had a projector in the back of the cinema, and you would project the film with light. And the Master would sit in the back to help these people. And what he would do is, like in the moment of the biggest tension, of the biggest excitement of the film, he would clap their shoulders and say, "Look, turn around, look at the projector, look at the light, and don't forget that God is in this light, and it's a light that projects all the scenery of the film. Don't forget that. Don't be too much involved in the film of Maya, but remember that God in His light projects all of this creation, and you can always choose the light." And in a few moments we will have this opportunity in the ceremony of light. One of the things that Swami Yogananda has done, but before I say this, I want to talk about Swami Yogananda. He was very young when he came to Master, and he only had 3.5 years to live with the Master. But his choice after it, even against opposition and with difficulties, his choice was, even if the Master is not there physically anymore, even if I, Swamiji said, am not in the organization of the Master anymore, I know, I feel what he wants from me as a disciple. What he wants is that I attune myself ever more perfectly with him in my life. And he did that for another more than 60 years, attuning himself with the Guru after he left the Self-Realization Fellowship. And that is important for us to understand, that even if our life is short, or if we have many, many years ahead of us, it is important what we do with this time, that we use it to tune ourselves deeply with the Guru and to live as much as possible in his presence, because it is not limited. Not being in his body anymore, his presence is unlimited, and the Master can guide you. He can guide you in every situation if you ask and if you listen. I think we should finish here. I wanted to read one more thing by Sister Gyanamata. For those of you who read her book, the book of Gyanamata is called God Alone And of what I know, it has not been translated into Italian yet. Please, someone needs to translate this book, because for each one of us, she gives counsel, advice to each one of us, and she talked so much and answered in so many years the questions of the especially young nuns in the organization of SRF. And the young nuns would ask her, for example, what is the distinctive mark of discipleship? Because they wanted to live how she had lived her discipleship with the Master. And this was her answer. So first, before that, she said, one thing is absolutely necessary. It's the right attitude towards the Guru. And we talked about this a little bit. How do we see and how do we follow the Guru in life? But what Gyanamata answered in this moment was, so first she told the story about a woman. The Master was in a situation where he was talking to a few women, and he had one flower, one rose, one red rose for each woman, and he gave a red rose to one of this disciple women, and the woman said, "Oh no, I don't want the red one, I want the pink one." And the Master said, "What I give, you take." And so Gyanamata told this story to help these young nuns understand that yes, we can express our preferences, but that is not the life of a disciple. Preferences you will also learn through Ananda Yoga, what I want, what I don't want. We need to let go, to come to our center, and in our center accept what the Guru gives. Because in what he gives us, there are our lessons, that there's something for us. And these are the words by Sister Gyanamata. Her answer about what distinguishes a perfect disciple. So she said, a quick or at least open mind and hands and feet ready to serve. Because the Guru, yes, he has a work to do to sustain. But what is this work? It is the ultimate freedom of all of his disciples. And if we have our feet and hand ready to serve, and an open mind, an open heart, then he can do a lot for us. And that is why we can say, yes, we need a Guru. Yogananda here says, few people understand how to contact God. Only a few truly understand how to contact God. Whatever we want, and we have the expectation to become, we need to be that now. Don't wait until you think you have the contact. We need to do it now, today. We need to be practical. If you live God, you will have the capacity to make him livable to others, to be such a channel that others can feel God through you. You need to use your power, sincerity, the sincerity to say, yes, I do everything I can, but it's God that I try to transmit. So sincerity is the transparent diamond through which the light of God illuminates our life and the lives of others. So now I wish you a life of discipleship with the Guru that illuminates your life and the lives of others.